Hi everyone, so I'm back with part 2 of week 4, and as you can see there's not that many photos at all. It really wasn't that bigger part of the week really. Once we got home from Monaco, it was Tuesday, and yeah, the rest of the week we were working, so we didn't really do loads. But on the Tuesday we did actually go into town and go and pick Joe's suit for the wedding. He didn't buy it because he didn't know. There was just a few things he wants to do beforehand, but they said that the suit will always be there, so it's not a problem. But he actually tried it on and he looked amazing. So so I'm glad that he's finally picked one. So that's just a picture of the storefront that we went in. We actually took Joe's best man with us as well, just because I always think it's good to have a man's opinion as well with things. And there's obviously stuff that I don't know, so it's always nice to have a man's opinion as well. So we had a nice morning. We had some lunch afterwards as well. And then we just went home and chilled really. So I did use that get well soon card because Joe still wasn't feeling very well. He had this awful cough cold thing. He's only just sort of got over it, and then I think he's just getting ill again. So yeah, I just want to use that get well soon card because it was in that pack, and I just thought it's a good opportunity to use it when he actually didn't feel very well. So I'm just going to use one of my little labels so I can write a little bit about it, and that's pretty much that card done. So I'm using this pocket page that's got the 4 6x4s and then the 3 4x4s in the middle, and I really don't know what I did, but I must have cut the 6x4 down a really awkward size because it wasn't long enough for the pocket, but it was too tall. So I really don't know what I did with it, so you'll see me chopping and changing a few things to make sure it can go in there. But then the 2 photos that are going to go next door are some really flattering pictures of Joe and I. We actually bought some face masks to use in the evening, just because, as I said, Joe wasn't feeling very well and he thought it might make him feel a bit better, just with like the refreshing thing on your face and stuff, because he had a bit of a headache and stuff. So anyway, we tried on these and they're very funny, but they were the sheets. They weren't like the stuff you rub on and then peel off. It was like a sheet mask, which I've never actually done before. So yeah, that was good fun, but we spent our evening doing that before going back to work on the Wednesday. So I'm still faffing with that card to make it the right size. But I leave those 2 pictures of us together because it just makes it easier to stick it down rather than cut them out and then stick them back together again. They were fine just as they were. So that is that. And then in the 3 pockets in the middle, which are the 4x4s, we went to our favourite sort of pub thing on the Thursday. They do like a pie night every Thursday, and we like to go, and they actually recognised us, which is quite nice. It's always nice to think that people recognise you. So they said, they're really grateful that people will come in, and they basically do it once a week, all in all different places, but it's just like a 3-person business, and it's their homemade food and stuff. So it's just really nice, and they do make really nice pies. So we like to go every so often to go and support them, and obviously just go out for a nice meal at the pub as well. So I use the photo in the middle for that. So I cut it down to a 4x4 size, obviously. And then the 2 pockets either side, I didn't have any other photos really. So I'm going to use these floral 3x4s, which are just of some roses. I think they're roses. And they're just obviously, because they match together, it just seems a good opportunity to use them, because otherwise it was just going to be more quotes, and I feel like there's enough words on this page as it is. So it just, filled a gap really with that one. And I'm just going to use some pink paper to back those on. And then, so as I said, we were working. So I knew I was signing myself up for a long stint of work, so I wasn't doing too much after this holiday. I basically signed myself up to do 16 days worth of work. So when I come off my long weekend, I do 7 days in a row anyway. I'm rostered to do that. But then I should have like 2 days off, and then a couple of days and then another day off and that sort of thing. But I decided to work all of those. So I signed myself up for like 16 days. And so I knew I was going to be pretty quiet for those days, just having my evenings free and things. But I just thought I might as well work. I've not got much going on, and I can do my wedding stuff in the evening and things like that. So I don't need a full day to do things anymore at the moment. Come March, April, May time, I'll be using my days off for things, but at the moment I'm not really needed to do too much, and the stuff that I do need to do can be done in about an hour or so after work. So I just thought I might as well get some extra money in to pay for bits and pieces, especially the honeymoon and things, because we seem to be adding more and more things onto that. But yeah, so I might as well earn the money whilst I can. I always said that once the wedding and the honeymoon was over, I wasn't going to do much overtime, but we'll see. It just depends on what I want to do in terms of holidays and, you know, scrapbooking supplies and things, because obviously that money doesn't grow on trees, so it needs to come from somewhere. So maybe if I'm thinking about buying a certain thing or us going away to a certain place, I might have to do some overtime just to make up that. So it's always good to have the option, but sometimes it can get a little bit addicting and you end up working way too much, more than you should really. But yeah, as I said, in the winter it's not so bad. In the summer I don't do as much because I want to be out in the sunshine, but when it's miserable and cold and all that, it's just it's quite good to do a couple of hours of work and get some overtime money for that. So I'm just putting those floral cards in the pockets. And then the photo down the bottom is literally just of me scrapbooking. So I was very excited because I actually managed to start my Vancouver album. So I'm done with Porto. That really didn't take me that long, I thought. And then I could move on to my June holiday last year, which was our main holiday of the year, which was 2 weeks in Canada. And we did 4 nights in Vancouver before moving on to the Rockies. And so the first album will be of Vancouver, and I'm just so happy to move on to it. And I'm really excited because obviously we did so many fun things. We did whale watching, we went to the Capilano Suspension Bridge, we went to Granville Public Market, and just having to wander around really. I just loved Vancouver so much, and I collected so much stuff, so I'm really looking forward to doing it. And it is a really fun album to do with all the different bits and pieces that we did there. So so I just wanted to obviously document that I've moved on to my Canada album. I was hoping maybe I might be able to get it done by the end of February, and then I can move on to the Rockies. And then you never know where I'm going to get up to this year. I'm actually sort of speeding along, but I tend to do this the beginning of the year. I'm all like guns blazing, and then it sort of dribs and drams off because my life just gets busy come March. So we'll see. I do want to keep up my scrapbooking and make sure I still do a little bit, every other day or even every day, just one little bit towards it, because it all helps. And it's very overwhelming sometimes to be so far behind. But I've got a good system, and I don't not finish things. I do, if I start it, I'll finish it. So that's my way forward really. I don't want to do little bits of each different project. I just want to start something, finish it and move on. So that's the process that I'm doing at the moment. So I hope you've enjoyed this part of the week, and I will be back with week 5 shortly. Thank you very much. Bye.